Hello! Hello, thank you for checking in. It is Friday, Funny Friday. So I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope the sound is better than the other day. That was really annoying. So hello, thank you for checking in. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, but I had a bunch of doctor's appointments Wednesday.
Sound is better than the other day.
Actually, I think I missed 2 days, didn't I? Did I miss 2 days? I can't even remember now. Yeah, because I had doctor's appointments. X-rays, more doctor's appointments. Yes, I have a broken foot. I had to get the first appointment, then an approval for the X-ray, and then the X-ray came back, and they saw me the next morning. I'm still waiting now, 2 days in, waiting on approval for the special shoe boot thing that you're supposed to wear with the broken foot and the crutches. But they haven't gotten back to me. It's after 5 o'clock, which means I probably won't hear anything till Monday. So, hello, can't you put on a rush when you got but the doctor said that my nurse clog shoes are very good for my broken foot because it has a very thick, sturdy bottom, and it's a thick, solid, it's flexible, but it's solid, and it holds it in leather top. So it's very structured. It's a very structured and very comfortable shoe with lots of room, but it keeps my, it is right on the top here, on the top of my foot, the middle bone, the little skinny middle bone on the top, that is broken in the middle. So I can still walk. I'm not supposed to put weight on it, but it's a little bone. He said they don't even, what they usually do is just isolate it because it's a little tiny bone that if it's lined up properly, it will heal on its own. So I don't need a cast. I don't need to have an operation or put any pins on it. Yeah, I know. Now I can't say that I've never broken anything. But they don't have to do anything. I just have to keep it isolated. Sam says all my bones are skinny. Yeah, I have to keep it isolated and not. Hi, Thesis. Oh, I forgot to say hello to everybody. I didn't do my usual greeting. Well, Linda, they put in an order for crutches and the fancy shoe boot to keep it from moving. I'm not supposed to put weight on it because it heals faster if you keep it isolated and no weight on it. But it's taken 2 days so far, even with the rush order, to get it approved. So I won't have any crutches all over the weekend even. And oh my goodness, it's a Funny Friday joke already. Hang on, let's see if I can scroll. Well, my patient. Well, okay. Oh, I cannot scroll at all. That already moved twice. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Marcel posted that. And it won't let me scroll. Oh, wait, now I can. Oh, Tisa says, a blonde wanting to earn some money decided to hire herself out as a handyman type and started canvassing a wealthy neighborhood. She went up to the first door of the first house and asked the owner if he had any jobs for her to do. Well, he said, you can paint my porch. How much would that cost? And the blonde said, how about $50? The man agreed and told her that the paint and the ladder she needed were in the garage. The man's wife came inside the house, heard the conversation, and said to the husband, does she realize that the porch goes all the way around the house? The man replied, she should. She was standing on the porch. A short time later, the blonde came to the door to collect her money, and he said, "You finished already?" "Yes," the blonde said, "and I have paint left over, so I gave it 2 coats." Impressed, the man reached in his car for the $50 and said, "Oh, by the way," she added, "that's not a Porsche, it's a Ferrari." Hi, Blair Cooper. Well, let me say hello to everybody. Laura Starr and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Thesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Ian G. Tomlinson and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Brett and Terry Sue and N1QOV and Blair and Boone Swede and Jade Dahlman and Cosmic Joe and Sam and St. Clinton and Wing Doggy. Hello. And yes, for anyone who is wondering, how did I break my foot? It was not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. Like 3 in the morning, I heard a really loud noise, like somebody was right outside of my house. And of course, I have the post-traumatic stress. I hear a noise, I wake up, I'm like, oh, what is that? And I jump up out of bed. I jump out of bed to go see what's outside, because I think there's somebody outside. And this actual shoe was lying on the floor, sideways. And as you can see, it's a thick shoe. So I stepped on it, and it rolled, and my foot rolled under and folded in half on the floor, and then I fell on the floor. And so your foot is not supposed to bend. It's not supposed to fold in half, which is how the little teeny bone in the middle snapped from that rolling, twisting, folding in half. And and then I get up to the front, and there actually was somebody out there. There were 2 people having sex in a car outside of my window. So I'll blame them. I'll blame them and my post-traumatic stress. Yes. And then, of course, I was in pain. I was like, you can't be here! No parking! Get out of here! I was like, oh. I said, I think I did a bad thing. In the morning, it was swollen and black and blue, but I was like, oh, I probably just sprained it. And then that Monday, I was, and then I was gonna go to the doctor, but then Tuesday I had an appointment on Tuesday, and then I had the jury duty, which was horrible because I had to walk 6 blocks each way on a broken foot to the courthouse. No wonder I was feeling like so crazy. We had to do a lot of walking at the courthouse, up and back and forth to different rooms. First we were sitting in the jury booth, and then the microphone broke, so we had to keep walking up to the podium to talk. Every time we're talking, I'm walking back and forth to the judge thing. No wonder my foot I was limping so bad, and I was feeling like, no wonder. I slept the next 2 days. Yesterday, my body's healing, so it's making me have to sleep more. And so, oh no, Sam says he just got a summons for jury duty. So then I had that, and then I literally slept like Wednesday and Thursday all day long. I was so beat. And then Friday came, and I made, Friday came, and I was like, oh, it's just a sprain. And then by the weekend, I was like, you know, I'm not sure if this is just a sprain. I might have broken something. But it's really hard to tell because it's a little bone. And then Monday, I slept all day. I was like uncharacteristically exhausted. I slept, like I woke up at night and woke up in the day. I'm like, I can't move. So tired. And so I made an appointment on Tuesday. I saw a doctor on Wednesday. Got just in time for the x-ray by 5 o'clock at the x-ray place, and they're like, yep, it's broken. And then everything was closed, so I had to go home. And then Thursday morning I went over and saw a bunch of doctors and stuff, and they put in all the orders. But I came back Thursday, and I thought I was just going to take a little nap. And I was so tired. I slept for 8 hours. I went to bed at 12 noon, and I left you guys a message that when I woke up, it was like 5 o'clock, and I was like, I couldn't move. I was so tired. I couldn't even talk. And I left you guys, I think I left you guys a last-minute message that I had, and I went back to sleep till 8. I slept 8 hours. I got up, I went to the doctor's, I came back, I slept 8 hours. Then I got up at 8, and I was up for like 4 hours, and then I went to bed and slept for like 10 hours. Is it still swollen? Yes. In a row, David Jones. Yes, in a row. So yeah, it's still swollen, and it's still that little black and blue, but a lot of the swelling in the black and blue has gone down. And that's when it started to hurt more, because I think the first week when it was so swollen, it was hard to tell that it was broken because it was all black and blue and really swollen, so kind of everything hurt. But then when the swelling went down, then I was like, oh, wait. So the black and blue is faded and the swelling has gone down. Blair says rest is very important to the healing process. Yeah, so I've been sleeping a ton, but I think that's just because my body energy is all going into my foot. So, but yeah, the swellings, because when I first tried to put I could barely get my foot into this shoe last week. It was like really packed in, and now this week it fits fine. So it will, yes, tomorrow. But as far as a break goes, this is a very easy break. I mean, you have to look at the upside. It's a very easy break. I don't have to have a surgery or like a pin or anything, a cast. I don't have to do any of those things. If I just keep it, you know, take it easy and rest, and yeah, I probably have the, hopefully by next week, by the third week of healing, I'll finally have the fancy boot. But my doctor said that even these shoes, he said if you ended up not ever getting the special shoe boots and the broken foot boots, whatever they give you, I don't know what they're called, and the crutches, he said this shoe will work too. He said this is an excellent shoe to have with my broken foot because it's such a thick, solid, unbendable bottom, and the top is like it keeps my foot exactly molded in place. Marcel, no, it's an actual break, Marcel. In fact, it's called a spiral break, which means it's like diagonal, and it's an actual break, and it's diagonal. I have a CD, but it won't. I was gonna try and get the picture, but my computer won't open the CD because it's some sort of program that only doctor computers open. I don't have the right program for it, but it is, and it's slightly moved. It's like a millimeter off. It is broken on a diagonal, and it's the bone. You can see it. It's like a millimeter off. But the doctor said that's okay. It's close enough, and that will even itself out as it heals. David Jones says, it's no surprise that Lorielle has the perfect shoe for this particular occasion of a broken foot. But yeah, so, and yeah, Linda says, and it's the one that actually broke my foot too. If I had just tripped, it would have been fine, but because I just hit the shoe so perfectly that it rolled, that's what happened. Because if I had just tripped, I would have been fine, but it was because the shoe is so solid, it doesn't squash under your weight, it rolls. So it rolled, and my foot rolled under it, and I fell at the same time. So my foot went, your foot's supposed to be here, not, that's what it did. And so that little bone in the middle on the foot is when it went, Oh, Marcel has another one. There was a pretty smart blonde who got hired for an excellent paying job. She was leaving one day when she saw another blonde in the middle of a wheat field in a rowboat. The smart blonde yelled to the rowboat blonde, "What are you doing?" And the girl replied, "I'm rowing home to make dinner for my husband and kids." And the smart blonde yelled back, "You're so stupid. It's blondes like you that give us blondes a bad name. You know, if I could swim out there right now, I would kick your ass." Oh, and Blair says, spiral fractures do take longer than complete fractures to heal. Oh, good news. Good news. Yeah, a complete fracture. Well, it's not actually a fracture. I don't know if fracture means just cracked. I'm not positive if fracture means just cracked or if it means actually broken. Because it is actually broken, not fractured, not cracked. But a complete break or fracture, whatever the correct term is when it's straight across, for anyone who doesn't know. And spiral means it's like diagonal. Yes, but everyone was very nice, and so yeah, so but at least I have insurance that's helping with it, and I don't have to do any crazy cutting, operating pins and weird stuff or casts. Marcel says, "Don't fall in the living room." Yeah. And yes, Blair, I'm a Bernie Sanders fan. For anyone who didn't know, if it wasn't already obvious, David Jones says, "Eat more cupcakes." I've been trying to eat protein and eat healthy stuff, and I'm drinking the kefir and coconut water. Marcel says, a guy is in the hospital with 2 broken feet that he got from a car crash. The nurse comes in and says that she has good news and bad news. And the guy asks her for the good news first. And the nurse says, well, we're going to have to remove both of your feet. And the guy said, wow, what's the bad news? The nurse says, the guy beside you wants that. The guy asked for the bad news. The guy beside you wants to buy your sneakers. Wait, that sounds like the good news. Like, oh, I messed it up. The guy, I messed it up. The guy asked for the bad news first. We're going to have to cut off both of your feet. What is the good news? The guy next to you wants to buy your sneakers. Score! Score! Yay! I didn't need those 2 feet. Yeah, so I'm hobbling around, but my foot gets really tired. Like, I can't walk a lot. I can walk to my car, I can walk from my car into the store, but I can't do a lot of walking. Like, if I have to go to the store and do errands and stuff, I can feel it, like it's starting to, like, it's too much action. So, and it makes me really tired. David Jones says, I need a razor scooter. Yeah, that's all I need. Because you know I'm not going to fall off of that, David Jones. That's all I need. Put your broken foot on a razor scooter, because then you can fall and break the other one. David Jones, who do you think you're talking to? Me and my coordination and a broken foot on a scooter? Oh, you're just asking for trouble. But you know what I've been... Marcel says, an old man went to the doctor complaining of a terrible pain in his leg. He says, I'm afraid it's just old age, says the doctor. There's nothing we can do about it. That can't be, fumed the old man. You don't know what you're doing. How could you possibly know that I'm wrong? I don't know what you're doing. And the doctor says, how could you possibly know that I'm wrong? Well, it's quite obvious, the old man replied. My other leg is fine, and it's exactly the same age. Oh. Sam is offering to let me borrow his walker. No, I want a wheelchair. Sam, I think you should come out here with a wheelchair and push me around. Faster! 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 Marcel says, how does a frog feel with a broken foot? Unhappy. Very, very unhappy. But I did my errands today. Today's April Fool's Day. Not only that, April Fool's Day, I forgot. Do people still do April Fool's jokes? Does anyone still do that? And it was paid. Marcel says, what do you call a ghost with a broken foot? Hoblin' goblin. That's me. I'm a hoblin' goblin. Yeah, I don't know if people still do April Fool's jokes. I read something earlier that Google tried to do some sort of April Fool's thing where they had some sort of emoji, mic drop emoji that would, I don't know, end your emails or something. Anyhow, for whatever reason, I guess it backfired and ended up not being funny, or ended up, I think people accidentally, because the way they put it, it was right next to where a different button used to be, and so they put it right where like a reply button was, and people were like leaving inappropriate mic drops on like, Aunt Jane just died, mic drop. So I don't know, something like that. It was. Yeah, I guess it was people accidentally left inappropriate mic drops, which caused problems in their personal and professional lives. Sam said he'd be like Benny Hill pushing me around. Yeah, it'd be just like a Benny Hill show. I'd hear the soundtrack, and instead of going in a straight line, we'd be going in circles as Sam starts following all the sexy girls in the store. And I think I would have to have something where I'd be hitting Sam. So, happy April Fools. Oh, here's one. Blair says coconut water is high in calcium. Oh, and so that's good for my foot. And he said one of his best friends tripped over his dog getting out of bed in the middle of the night and ended up having 6-hour surgery to fix the damage. Oh, okay, so I got off lucky. I got off lucky. A man walks into a doctor's office and he has a cucumber up his nose and a carrot in his left ear and a banana in his right ear. What's the matter with me? He asks the doctor, and the doctor replies, well, it looks like you're not eating properly. Oh, wrong hole. I don't even want to know what happens when this guy tries to have sex. Wrong hole. Well, I've also been eating, I showed you guys the coconut water. I'm going to show you another thing. Here's me walking. See? I can walk. See? Broken foot walking. This is the other thing. Life Away organic kefir. This is organic. I had coupons from these people, and now I generally don't drink milk or any milk products. I'm against milk, but this is, let me put this. Kefir is got the live active. This is just plain, but they have flavors too. But this is organic, which means this has 11 grams of protein. This is gluten-free, organic, BPA-free packaging. Kefir is a tart and tangy, creamy cultured milk, like a yogurt, like a liquid yogurt. It's high in protein, calcium, vitamin D, and has 12 different live active probiotic cultures. Contains 15 to 20 billion CFUs. This is 99% lactose-free, no artificial sweeteners, only use milk that comes from cows that are not treated with synthetic growth hormones, cows that are grass-fed GMO feed. So those are all the things that I don't like about milk. Is like I've told you, the weird hormones that they're putting in. So this is like yogurt with a high. It's like drinking yogurt. It's kefir. Kefir means it's got, and it's a low fat. So it has like 2 grams of fat, 110 calories per serving. But it's like a yogurt with, it's good for your digestive health and your immune system, because your stomach is supposed to have, you've probably heard about probiotics and the good bacteria that you're supposed to get in yogurt, because your stomach is supposed to have all of these good bacteria that help your digestion, which a lot of the things that we eat kill, though, especially antibiotics and stuff. Marcel says, mumbo jumbo. This is probiotic, 99% lactose-free, which means people that are lactose intolerant, it shouldn't bother your stomach. Organic. So this is, I've been drinking coconut milk. I've been drinking kefir. And this company was at a gift suite, and they gave me a pack of like 30 coupons. You can look them up online, Lifeaway. They're in most of the big grocery stores. And I'm going to show you, where's my coupons. Not only do they have, they have flavored ones too, like raspberry and stuff, but they also make a frozen yogurt kefir. They have several different varieties, and their website is lifeawaykefir.com. So Lifeaway, let me get this. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Lifeway Kefir, all one word, lifeawaykefir.com. Show you, maybe that shows it. That might not be clear enough that close. That seems kind of blurry, doesn't it? Lifeway. We know organic means, what organic means, David Jones, is that there's no weird stuff in it. Organic is like the old-fashioned way of making fruits and vegetables and growing and stuff. You don't add all these weird modern chemicals and hormones and crap. So organic just means how it used to be. Organic's not a fancy newfangled thing. Organic is actually the old-fashioned way of food. But, so, Sam says he hasn't drank milk in over 30 years. Blair said when he used to live in Massachusetts, they would get fresh raw milk right from the farm, which was totally organic. Yeah, that can be really good. A lot of people like fresh. Now, there's some problems because depending on there's a reason they pasteurize things, because it's, bacteria and weird stuff. So it has to be handled very carefully, and so that you don't end up with a bad batch. But and so that's why they made laws about pasteurization and stuff. But actually, the fresh milk is supposed to be very, very good for you if you're getting it from a place that is really concerned about quality control. You know how easily that can switch and change. So Sam says raw milk is dangerous. Yeah. So yeah, and to make sure the cow is healthy and all that stuff. So like it. It's kind of like, you know, taking a risk with sushi from a gas station. You might get a good one, you might get a bad one. Yeah, I never drink milk, but I got a coupon from this company for this kefir organic. So if anyone who does like yogurt or milk and having a dairy product, because I'm personally kind of against dairy products, but right now while I have a broken foot, I'm trying to get as much protein and calcium as I can. So, oh, Marcel has another joke. One evening after work, John drove his secretary home after she was unable to start her car. Not wanting to bother his wife Maureen, he decided not to mention it to her. Later that night, John and Maureen were driving out to eat when John spotted a high-heeled shoe hidden under the passenger seat. Pointing something out the passenger window to distract his wife, he picked up the shoe and tossed it out the window. They arrived at the restaurant a short time later and were about to get out of the car when Maureen turns to her husband and says, "Honey, have you seen my other shoe?" That's my favorite one yet. Oops. John threw his wife's shoe out the window. John, why did you throw my shoe out the window? I don't know. I don't know. No, honey, I think you only had one on when you got in the car. No, John, I'm pretty sure I had two shoes on when I got in the car. And Sam says, eat chicken and egg whites. I eat a lot of eggs. So, yeah, but they gave me the coupon. So for anyone who does like milk or wants to get their probiotics, I recommend Lifeway Kefir. Check it out. I'm going to put this back in the fridge. See, I'm walking. See? Walking with a broken foot. So, hi, Wing Doggy. Thank you for checking in. Wing survived his birthday. That's good. That's good, Wing Doggy. I hope you had fun. Well, that's okay. Wing says barely. I slept until 12 today, and then I got up and I did a few errands. I had to go out and I dropped off the rent check, I got some gas, I went to the bank, and then all these little things just tire me out. And it takes me a lot longer. Like normally I would walk to the bank. Normally all these places that are real close to me, they're just a couple blocks away. I can't walk a couple blocks anymore. I can walk from the car into the store, but I can't walk like 2 blocks or 3 blocks or 4 blocks to the store and then walk back. It's too much walking. So, but I definitely got lucky. David Jones says, "Do I ever go to Venice Beach?" No, hardly ever. I hardly ever go to Santa Monica or Venice, period. I think the last time I went to the beach was, I think when my mother was here. That was like 2 years ago. We went to the beach. And it's just like if you look on the map, you know, West LA and Santa Monica and Venice are very close. It's only a few miles away. David Jones says there's a show on Netflix that takes place there. Oh, cool. Linda says she still can't find me on the Google Maps. Why am I laughing about that? Just tell me I'm a brat. Just say, you're such a brat, Lorielle. You're such a brat. I know, but I got a broken foot. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna be using that all week. every time I do something obnoxious, I'm gonna be like, broken foot. So I'll be hobbling for the next 6 weeks or so. Oh, there's a long one here. Thanks, Sam. Okay, Marcel's got a long one. Oh, wait, this isn't a joke. This is the National Yogurt Association gives a live and active culture seal to yogurt products which contain 108 CFU cultures per gram at the time of manufacture, 104 in 202. The FDA and World Health Organization recommend that the minimum viable numbers of each probiotic stain at the end of the shelf life be reported on label as 105. Give a number report to viable cell count and the date of manufacture, and number probably much higher than existing at the moment of consumption because of variability of storage conditions and time before eating. It's difficult to tell exactly how many active cultures are actually in the yogurt at the time you're eating it because of the difference between when it's tested, when it's first made, as to when you actually eat it. The European Commission placed a ban on putting the word probiotic on the packaging of products because such label misleads consumers to believe a health benefit is provided by the product when no scientific proof has been demonstrated to the health effect. Okay, well, there you go. Because in Europe, Marcel is in Europe. In Europe, they are much tougher. Their FDA in Europe doesn't take a payoff. They don't take a payoff. There's a ton of chemicals and additives and preservatives and all kinds of things that are illegal in Europe as far as food products, food production, that are legal here because our FDA is like, oh, whatever. The FDA, yeah, the European FDA doesn't play games. The FDA here gets some kickbacks, I'm pretty sure. Because even like some places like fast food restaurants have to obey, the ones that have European stores have to obey the rules of the countries in Europe. So like, say for instance, McDonald's French fries, it's just like potato, oil, salt. There's like 3 ingredients in McDonald's French fries in Europe, in their McDonald's. In the US, there's like 25 ingredients. It's not just French fries, oil, and salt. There's all kinds of weird biochemo, like weird chemicals. Why do they that aren't allowed in Europe that are allowed here? So why can't they make, and they, you know, they're like, oh, it would cost us too much money, I don't know, but they're able to do it in Europe, but they don't do it here. Why? Why do you ask? I don't know. David Jones says there are only 3 ingredients in Czech beer. Sam says, everybody's going to love me with that excuse. Ah, yeah, she's got a broken leg. Oh, let me give you another one. Oh, Blair Cooper says he is upset. He is angry that legislation was passed yesterday that that no longer requires manufacturers to tell you the country of origin of the meat. Now, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is. It is a big deal. Don't you? A lot of manufacturers and food, big food conglomerates, they're like buying chickens here and then sending them to China to process it and sending them back here. The chickens traveled around the world already by the time you get it. Or the cow, maybe the cow is like a mix of cows from, it's like a blender of cow meat from like 50 different cows from 50 different countries. And that makes it a lot harder to, if you don't know where your food is from, first of all, it takes away your choice. Like if you say, I don't want to eat meat from China because their health standards are even worse than ours, then that takes away your choice. And if your hamburger, your ground beef is made up of, 50 different cows from all around the world, it's much harder to trace when something bad like a food poisoning happens and they're trying to investigate where it came from. It's almost impossible to say where did it come from when it's not one cow, it's not one. They got cows from all over. David Jones says, I want to hear the GMO salmon rant before you. Oh yeah, some group is suing to try and stop GMO salmon from being sold. I don't want any of the genetically modified animal foods. I don't want the genetically modified corn, and I don't want frankenfish. I don't want frankenfish. Bye, Sam. Thank you for checking in. Yeah, Blair says we need to get Monsanto out of the food chain. Yeah, these food companies, I remember last year, food companies were paying millions of dollars. Lobbyists were paying millions of dollars in each state. When states were trying to make laws that said food must be labeled to tell you what's in it, so that it must be labeled if it's a GMO corn. It must be labeled if it's a GMO product. So at least you have the choice. They weren't even saying it's not allowed. They're just saying it must be labeled. And food companies, the GMO companies, spent millions of dollars in each state to lobby to fight against that, because they don't want you to know what you're eating. They want to be able to sneak it in and make all their money. And David Jones says their issue is GMO salmon being released into the wild. Yeah, that too. Frankenfish mating with other fish is going to quickly change fish all over. So Marcel says, okay, and it's already 6 o'clock, so I've talked a long time, so I'm just about to sign off. But Marcel has the last joke of the day. Says, why did 17 blondes go to the movie together? Because the sign said, under 17 not admitted. Yes. So I'm just about to sign off, but I want to thank you guys for coming to see me. Thank you for all of your sweet messages and best wishes. As you saw, I am walking. I'm limping, hobbling, but you can see I am able to get around and just extra tired. Can only walk short distances. Linda says I cheered her up a little bit. Yay! And yesterday I slept all day with my shoe on, because it's funny, the weight of the blanket on top of it, I can feel it with the broken Oh, Linda says she got a bad haircut yesterday. Ah, it'll grow. April Fools too, yeah. Yeah, so happy April Fools to everybody. And I will be back on Monday. Motivational Monday. Woohoo! All right, so I'm just about to sign off. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Crim and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Blair and Sam and St. Clinton and Brett and Terry Sue and Joe Barney and N1QOV and Cosmic Joe and Wing Doggy and Jay Dahlman and Boone Swede. And thank you for checking it. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. I think I got everybody. I hope everybody's feeling good. All right. So kisses for everybody. Yeah, and Monday, I think Monday I have to, hopefully by Monday I'll have it approved. So I got to go pick up the boot, the broken foot boot, the crutches, and I have a doctor's appointment with my therapist. And what else do I have? And I have like 3 doctor's appointments, so I'm like, you know what? You know what happened? I think my warranty just expired. I think that's what happened. Bye. I love you. I love you. I'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully. Unless something else happens. You know, with that warranty. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.